Hello, everybody. This is Danielle from Wusa Holistic Health Coaching, back again to have another very interesting conversation about all things that affect us mentally, emotionally, physically, and even spiritually. And today's topic, I think you're going to really love. It's not as though I haven't touched on it before, but we're going to come at it from a different angle. I don't know if you remember me saying to you before that I am one of 5 children, and 4 of the 5 in my family are women. And we are all entrepreneurs. And we are also all going through our soft era. So at somewhere between the 4 girls, we're all either perimenopausal or menopausal. And so we were having that discussion today on our mastermind, which I've mentioned to you that we're working on. And so many women hopefully will someday be able to benefit if we just decide to release those conversations that we're having and recording right now. But one of the things that my sister suggested is that maybe I talk about one of the other things that was mentioned that is contributing to making it harder for women to go through their soft era when their bodies are changing, their hormones are shifting, and all the different ways that it is affecting us as women. Well, one of the topics that you know that I've talked about more than once on this platform and on this channel is feminine energy. Because at that time of our lives, it's even more important that we pay attention to our feminine energy because our nervous systems are so much more sensitive, which means it could really rock us when it comes to our hormones. And at that time of life, we really cannot afford that because we want that journey to be as soft and gentle as possible. So we were telling stories about things that we remember from marriage, mistakes that we've made, our losses, our wins, what we've learned, what we could have improved upon, and what we could even do moving forward. Because the thing that people get confused when it comes to feminine energy is they think that it only has to do with being married. And we are not all still married. I'm widowed, as I've mentioned before, for a little over a year now. And some of the relationships, they ended. But everybody has been married. Everybody has had that experience. But now that some of us are single, it still makes a difference, and it's still super important to understand feminine energy as well as masculine energy, because we do have a brother. And so I wanted to just kind of share some of the things that we talked about that was so interesting to me. So one of the questions that came up was, what do you do when you're working on your feminine energy and you're trying to master it to heal your own nervous system and prevent disease and illness in your future, but you see other women around you that are kind of wilding out in their masculine energy in your presence? What do you do when you so badly maybe want to help or offer suggestions, but you think they're so far away from it that they wouldn't even receive it? Okay, so first of all, we love that you want to help, but you got to remember why women get stuck in their masculine to such a degree. Because one of my sisters was saying this one woman that she has interactions with as a client is so in her masculine that she is always ready to fight. And she's actually married. But this man that she's married to cannot take one step out of line. I mean, do not forget to take out the trash. Do not leave a dish in the sink. I mean, nothing without he is going to get literally cussed out. Like bad words, real bad words. Calling somebody out of their name, screaming, yelling, threatening, and all of just you did. And it's kind of like, wow. First of all, not feminine at all. But you got to think about how men and women are actually made. How are we created? How are we designed by our creator? So we already know that men, their oxygen is respect. Women's oxygen is love. So keeping that in mind, as we, the weaker, softer sex, we have completely different needs. We appreciate when our partners, they honor us with that design in mind, that we are the weaker one that needs that softness, that nurturing, that love. But on the other hand, the way a man is made, if a woman is coming at them in that way, What are they thinking? How are they feeling? Well, they're certainly not feeling respected, but they feel like they have to fight for their manhood, which looks like bad behavior. It looks like a man who starts yelling back, a man who might call some names of his own. Some men, it gets so bad, they might even get physical. Because when a woman is in her masculine and she is just dominating from this nasty, loud, aggressive space, he forgot she was a woman. That's why he starts reacting as if he is in the ring with another man. He's battling another man mentally because she's acting like a man. However, if she were to be very soft and very feminine and very respectful in the way that she would express maybe wishing that he would have taken out the garbage, guess what? He's going to take out the garbage because we don't need all that. We don't need all that. He doesn't need all that. Here's what he does need. He needs a hit of dopamine to his brain. Did you know this was about science? Guess what? It's very scientific. Whatever gets rewarded is what gets repeated. Please write it down. So this is what this looks like. You come home after a long day, you're tired, you're irritated, and you're thinking, I better not come in this door, and the garbage still isn't taken out. Well, maybe he forgot. I don't know. Slipped his mind. Maybe he had a hard day. But what you don't want to do is come in and just go off on the guy. So maybe you say, how was your day? Da 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 da. And you say, I see the garbage is still, do you mind? But then when he takes the garbage out, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate when you take it out. It's just like one more thing off my list and it just makes me feel really good. Thank you. All right. When you know the person's love language, that takes it to another level. So let's say your husband is, his love language is physical touch. So let's say while you're giving him that reward that you want repeated, you've got your hand on his arm or something and you say, thank you so much. I really appreciate when you do that. Dopamine hit the brain, hits the pleasure center. He wants to do it again. Whereas maybe he comes in and he's like, hey, I just took out the trash. And you're like, okay, great. I definitely have done that. I definitely know a lot of other women, maybe most of us, that will just be like, why are you telling me that? You're a grown man. You did what you ought to have done. The reason he's saying, hey, I took out the trash is because he wants to feel the dopamine hit. He wants the feel-good hormone to be released in the brain because we always run away from pain and run towards pleasure. Pleasure center in the brain, he gets the hormone, the chemical release, feels good, wants to feel it again. So when you reward that thing that he did right, that's what's going to get repeated. As opposed to screaming and yelling and name calling and putting somebody down. That does not motivate. And when a man is fighting for their manhood, now they're going to look for other ways to feel strong. Whether that be, I'm not doing nothing you say. I'm not doing nothing for you. Talking mean, silent treatment, whatever they can do to feel powerful and like a man again. The point is, what's in it for you as a woman to really learn the art of your feminine energy? You have not only better health, you get more rest, you get more stuff taken off your to-do list because now this man, he wants to take this weight off of you. He wants to provide and protect you. Not just provide money, but provide a safe space for you, a safe space for you to be vulnerable, a safe space for you to share what's on your heart and what's on your mind. A provider, not just money, but providing a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on. All of those types of things, that's feminine energy is how we get there. That's what's in it for you. So it's not just that your nervous system gets healed, you get more rest, you have less stress, you're provided and protected, but you have a better relationship, a higher quality winning relationship. This man does not have to fight for his manhood with you. He already knows he's respected. He already knows he's the man. He already knows that you're not coming for his manhood, so he's not going to battle you for it. Now that is the cherry on top. So there's so much in it for you to get this right. Now, Why would it be that somebody would just resist being in their feminine so hard? Now, as you know, I work with a lot of ladies, and a lot of ladies are so tired and they're so irritated and they're so frustrated and they work so hard. All things, by the way, that they were never intended to do. They were never created to carry all this load. And so there's resentment there because they never wanted to be working 50 hours a week anyway, plus having these babies and taking care of this house and you, the husband. So yeah, if they come home and see the trash or the dishes in the sink, they kind of freak out, but it's because they were never meant to carry all of that weight. And so who made us carry all the weight though? 9 times out of 10, it isn't the husband. If you talk to most husbands, they would, now, not a man in their feminine energy, a masculine husband, they will tell you, I don't care if my wife works. I don't mind paying the bills. I don't mind providing. There's even that hilarious TikTok where the husband, you go up to the husband and you say, honey, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to pay the mortgage this month. And he's looking at her like she has 3 heads. Like, why would you ever have to pay the mortgage? That's a masculine man who does not care that he is the provider and protector. He thrives on the fact that he's a provider and protector because that's how he was made. That's how he was built. Men who do not provide and protect, they're in their feminine energy, and that's not what we're looking for as feminine women who want to be in a relationship. So if you see a woman that's literally messing up her life, messing up her marriage, messing up her health, how do you approach that? Well, if she's in her masculine, you can't approach it any other way but softly. So instead of being like, girl, you need to get in your feminine energy, she's gonna buck up like a man and be like ready to like square up and fight with you. But what you could do is softly is say something like, you know what? Somebody mentioned something to me recently, or I saw a video or a show or read an article. It was so interesting. And it was about when you get in these situations, how something called feminine energy really helps. Have you heard of that? Ask questions. Do not make statements, because it doesn't put people on the defense when they're already feeling, and then you come at them with more like, you need to be, it's not going to work. Now, another situation that you may run into is somebody that is so sick mentally, so damaged mentally, so traumatized by whatever went on in their life, adverse childhood events, experiences, or maybe they were in their feminine and they got super hurt and so they can't trust it. There's a lady that I like to listen to who she is really big on feminine energy, and her kind of new husband, he has an academy that he does for men to help them be more masculine, and then she has one for women to help them be more feminine. I don't know how long they've been married, not super long, but she was a widow. Her husband got sick, and all of a sudden she was left alone to raise 4 kids by herself. You want to talk about being in your feminine energy and getting traumatized and your nervous system being messed up. It took a lot of healing of her nervous system for her to even trust being in her feminine again, so that she could free fall and trust a man would be there to protect and provide even for herself and 4 kids that were not his. So that's the power of feminine energy. People say, nobody's going to marry some middle-aged woman with a bunch of kids. Well, I'm here to say that's not true, because it happened to me. And I too am widowed, but I was married to somebody when I was a middle-aged woman with 3 kids. He didn't care about that. In fact, the 3 kids was part of the proposal he made when he asked to marry me. So many things are not true when you are in your feminine. But one thing that we got to remember is it's not for the man. It's for you, the woman. Now, does it help the man? Does the man benefit? 100%. But we benefit even more, because if we're rewarding properly what we want repeated, his love language is words of affirmation, and you're telling him, oh my word, that was amazing. You did a great job. I so appreciate that. Now you're rewarding and in his love language, and you think he's not going to do it again or look for that next thing to do for you so that he can have that experience of that dopamine hit again. You're wildly mistaken. He is looking for anything he can do around that house to help get that pleasure moment again. What did it just do? It took something else off your to-do list, helping you live a softer life, a gentler life, a life where you feel protected, provided for, cared for, loved. And in return, what do you have to do? Be a woman, a feminine woman in her feminine energy. Be respectful. Remember that we're not coming for their manhood. We don't need to do that. We're not men. Let them be men. We focus on being women, being softer. This is something that is inside work though. So do remember, if you see somebody that's like so out of pocket, they may need to heal their own nervous system before they could even get their head around this. There may be so much damage that they need therapy of their own to heal the nervous system before they would even be open to trying it. If that is the case, don't waste your energy trying to convince somebody else who's not there yet, not willing, not open, not interested, toxic. Don't waste your energy fighting with people like that about, oh, you know what would really help you is if you got in your feminine energy. You're just wasting your breath. But for you who is open and ready and wants to feel your best, wants to enjoy your soft era, focus on your own healing and learn how to do it and be humble enough to be like, you know what? I am going to give this man his accolades. I am going to let him know that he did a great job. And if it is a gift, if his love language is gifts, then you see that favorite thing out at the store. You know what? When you did whatever in the garage the other day, you organized it, that's been driving me crazy. It made me feel so special. I wanted to do something for you. I know this is your favorite blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to make sure that I treated you with that. Thank you. Dopamine hit. Who wins? Both of you. Both of you. What's wrong with that? Give them their praise and whatever else. And in the end, you're the one that wins. As a woman, you get more of what you want. You get an easier life and a better relationship. What could be better than that? So that is just a couple of the things that we talked about in our Sisters Mastermind today. There's a lot more because it isn't just about men. I'm not married. I'm not dating. I'm not anything with a man right now. But it doesn't mean that I don't have interactions. It doesn't mean that I don't have a vibe that I give off when I communicate in general. Because even if I'm just communicating with another woman, if I'm in my masculine and I'm a woman, I may come off too hard. I may come off not as loving. I may not be as kind. I may not be as thoughtful. I may not be as careful about the way I make another person feel. And that's not cute either. That's not cute for a woman. It's very off-putting. So it's like, what kind of woman do you want to be? What kind of a person do you want to be? Being in your feminine energy means you're automatically a more loving person. You think about, the child who is hurt or whatever, they usually run to their mother because, she's got the softness and the loving ways or whatever. If they don't, then maybe that means we're too masculine. But typically, when you look at the movies or you read the storybooks, you see the little child going to the mother for comfort because that's sort of like her role. She's the softer one and the more tender one, the more nurturing one. And so that's where people can find comfort. So, we can be there to be someone's peace and their soft place to fall. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful role. If we allow ourselves to be in that role and then feel the benefits. So what's in it for us to be in our soft feminine energy? What's in it? Everything. We don't want to be creating space in our bodies to form chronic illness and disease. We want to be well rested. We don't want to be depleted. We want to be happy. We don't want to be workhorses. We don't want to think that our value is based on how much we got done on our to-do list every day, and our value is tied to how hard we work. That is not what a woman is supposed to be. Let ourselves get help. Let ourselves be taken care of and enjoy the softness of being a woman. We have gotten it so messed up. It's work, and everybody's getting so sick. That's what's in it for us. Let's heal our nervous systems and let's stop making other women feel bad if they don't work. If they want to stay home with their kids or if they just want to stay home and their husband want to take care of them, why is that even any of our business? Leave them alone. Let them enjoy being a homemaker, maybe they're into sourdough and gardening and they're cooking stuff from scratch and they're grocery shopping and cleaning their own house. Good for them. They're having a good time. They're happy. Don't be like, what do you do all day? You don't have a job? Don't make people feel like that, because you don't know what you could be doing to that woman and what you could be causing for her health and her nervous system by talking like that. The next time somebody tells you they're not working, they're just enjoying life, they're good for you. If you like it, I love it and I'm happy for you. Let's be there to support each other as women. That's another feminine move, by the way. So that's my message for today. I just wanted to give you a little bit, just a little bit of the conversation that me and my 3 sisters had today on our Sisters Mastermind. Super interesting. And they told me that they wanted me to share some of this with you guys. Tell me what you think. If you like content like this, please share it. Please give me a like. I would love to grow this channel with more subscribers. I'd like to get this message out there. What I'm going to do when I figure this out more, as you know, I'm not tech savvy. I'm going to make like different playlists, because feminine energy is coming up all the time, like daily in my work with my clients. So I'm going to need to create a playlist of just stuff that has to do with feminine energy, because so many middle-aged women, they need this information. It's super important at this time when we need to be getting really, really soft and gentle with ourselves and really paying attention. So again, that also goes along with Wusa, which has to do with being peaceful and being calm, so that we don't create that space for agitation in our bodies, which leads to chronic illness and disease. I hope that this is helpful. Please, in the comments, tell me what you guys think. Tell me what your thoughts are on feminine energy and how you're doing with it. And we'll talk soon, hopefully tomorrow. Have a great night, and don't forget to Wusa. Good night.